Hey guys, what's up? It is Sarfnic here. Welcome to another episode of Harth History. Before we get into the main stuff of this video, I want to thank you guys for all the support on the first episode and the second episode. It's been amazing working on this series, and we've got some more episodes for you guys. So, shall we begin where we left off? So, Harth SMP Season 1 had just ended, and we decided to start a new season, Harth SMP Season 2. So, I'm just going to break it to you guys. This is by far the least liked season in the entire history of Harth. The community just doesn't remember it, and it wasn't really fun for anyone except for me, surprisingly. I'm the only person who enjoyed this season, and maybe my teammate I'm Wacky enjoyed this season as well. But we'll get into that later. So we set up the world, and by the way, yeah, there's no world download. It's because of the fact that the server expired. We didn't get to download the world. Sorry. You're not missing much. We didn't have much build progress except for my base. No one else really had any good build progress. It was early June 2017, and we started the season. So we actually built a lobby for this, kind of like a hub spawn place. It's just like a little tiny hut in a mesa biome. That's it. It was pretty cool building, though. I think we spent like a few days in advance working on it. By we, I mean me, Warcries, and Firal. We were the staff for this season. So, we had a few teams this SMP. We had my team, where I just settled, like, right next. So, under, like, the mesa, there was a desert, and right next to it was a savanna. That's where I settled. And I needed a teammate. And Warcries invited his good friend, Wacky. Now, if you look at Wacky's profile, he actually has the Realms creator cape, because he made a bunch of Realms minigames with Warcries. He's also a really good Bed Wars player. In fact, he was in a video of Technoblades. Actually, after I did this SMP with him. He was in one of Technoblade's Bed Wars win streak videos because he was on the Bed Wars leaderboard. Of course, Technoblade recruited him, which I find pretty cool that, yeah, you can start freaking out Techno stands. That includes you, Gamer Eye.
Don't worry about it. Hey, is Technoblade in this game? Nah, man, you just missed him.
So Iwaki actually didn't even have a mic, so we just spoke through chat. Like, I was in VC with him, and he would just be muted. He was kind of like Lou and Vex, kind of like a no-micer guy. If you didn't know, Lou and Vex were no-micers as well. So I remember just building like a little hole in a mountain in this savanna biome, and then setting up like a bed and chests and stuff, signs, whatever, a chicken farm, and Iwaki shows up. And a few days later, we have an elevator down to an underground area with a spawner. So to be clear, this season, Season 2, and also Season 3, allowed you to collect spawners with Silk Touch, which was a plugin we wanted, I guess. I don't really like it. It kind of violates vanilla. But back then, we wanted to try it out. And it led to a lot of farming. So I'm just going to be clear. We had the best base out of everyone. This base is amazing. So I don't have screenshots. You know, I don't have access to Iwacky's Discord anymore. I know I had access to it before Season 4, but I don't know, I just can't find it for some reason. Maybe change his name or delete his Discord or something. I'm not really sure about that. But it was an amazing base. Everyone else's base sucked. So I'll talk about the other bases. So there was a lot of Mushroom Island bases this season, which is weird because the previous Harth season, I don't think anyone even found a Mushroom Island. I believe there were 3, so I'll just mention the first one. Some group, maybe some of Firal's friends, I think? Like some other guys that Firal was friends with had Mushroom Island to the north. And then the second one, also to the north, a lot of the Hypixel Knights guys. They were part of the Harth RPG. For some reason they sat out Harth SMP Season 1. But, like, Horus the local, Egyptian Cow, Snadro the local? I'm not really sure. But all these guys had a Mushroom Island together. I remember visiting there a lot. I know for sure Egyptian lived there. And then, finally, to the southwest is where Warcries and Firal had a Mushroom Island. I got a funny story relating to that one. There were a lot of Harth members that didn't play this season. Like, I don't think Crap played or any of those guys. I know Eggsick or Butter Taco, Sensul back then, did play, but he never was active. Anyways, let's get into this little drama I was talking about Warcries and Firal. So, basically, Firal passed my Savannah base and said, oh, I'm just going to find a cool place to chill, whatever. And he headed in a direction. And I believe the direction was west, a bit south, mostly west. I noted it, and we were in a VC together. So he kind of mentioned he found a village and a desert temple, and then he kept going, and he said, oh, I found a Mushroom Island, guys, oh my gosh, Sarfnic, you're not allowed there, or whatever. And I decided to track him. I found the village and desert temple. I remember raiding the desert temple and stuff. And then I found the Mushroom Island. And they all started freaking out, like, Sarfnic, leave right now, leave right now. I remember Warcries was in VC. And Firal was in the VC like, admin abuse, admin abuse. I just wanted to go there just so I could get the achievement for exploring every biome. I said, alright, I'm out. I was still pretty amazed how I managed to track them though. And I remember having this on recording. I recorded this season. Like I recorded building the base with Iwaki before it was even big. And I recorded doing this and like having the scene with Firal and Warcries. But I think I just deleted the videos. Like it really sucks that I deleted that, man. Like would have been a treasure to have access to. Anyways, they tried to say I was corrupt for that, as usual. Firal was calling Sarfnic corrupt. I don't really think it was, although, because I left right away. Although I just wanted to get the biome done. Anyways, yeah, Iwaki built the best base. I constantly flexed the Warcries, and Warcries was like, wow, this is actually really cool. I can't believe you got a good teammate, Sarfnic. And the SMP expired, but no one really cared because there wasn't much active players after a while. Iwaki, you were such a good teammate. If you're watching this somehow, good job. I do remember some cool times, actually. Like, I used to just, like, chill in the savannah. There were some buildings I made there. I didn't make a wall because I think Iwaki didn't like the idea of that. And I'd just be in a call with Firal, Warcries, Sensul, Egg-Sick, Butter Taco. All those three are the same person. I just call them all that because my brain automatically goes to Sensul and then it goes to whatever. And we'd be playing the white people song and the black people song. You know, the song that's really controversial amongst libtards. Like, I remember I played in Sponge SMP one time, and they all freaked out, like, this is racism! Like, one of the admins who had ACAB in their profile. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But we had so much fun times listening to that song, and listening to this Donald Trump song, like The Snake. I think Vex played that a lot. Yeah, Vex was in there, too. And Lou was there, too. Now I'm just remembering it as we talk. It was awesome. So, overall, this season was good. I'd say it was still better than Season 3 in my opinion, but due to what Hearthlanders think about the season, I think overall it's rated as the lowest season, even below Season 3. Alright, let's get into some interviews, but I couldn't interview Iwaki, so I'm only interviewing Firal and Warcries. That's about it. This video is short. I have like barely any screenshots of this SMP season 2. I'm sorry guys, it's just not much exists from this season anymore.
I don't remember much from that time, but what I do remember is I traveled very, very far. Like, very far. I'm not sure if it was like...
It wasn't that far, actually. It wasn't that far.
Was it 5,000 blocks-ish, max, top?
That's max,
And-
for sure. It's probably around like 2,000 blocks.
Yeah. And I found a mushroom island. And I'm pretty sure somebody followed me at some point
That was me.
and found my chords.
That was
Exactly.
me. I tracked you like down really easily. Just,
Yeah, and then I stopped. I think I stopped playing after War joined me on the island because I wanted to have an island for myself and I wanted to leave in peace. But that's really it. I don't remember much as I just wanted to leave in peace and that was not an option.
peace was never an option.
Exactly. And then War probably can explain a bit more about the island and what we did.
Harth SMP Season 2. So, this kind of melded with Season 3 for me, but it was if I remember correctly, I ended up basing with Firal at the Mushroom Island base, for the most part,
That's
when
correct.
we did underwater aquarium thing. Wacky ruled the server, and you happened to be his teammate.
His
because you
only
asked him.
teammate, yeah.
In comparison, I bet you were a fairly good player, and you're still a fairly good player. Like, you're not amazing to the point that Aramis and I are.
Flex.
Sounds egotistical, but it's true. I'm just random viewers. I'm sorry. You know, you were still contributing in other seasons to the point in which it was noticeable. But with Wacky, it just wasn't. Cause he was probably our level of skill now in comparison. Like, if you take something like me in Season 1 or Aramis 5 years ago at the game, or even you 5 years ago, we'd all be like 10 times better now.
Mm-hmm.
And comparing something like that to, I think Wacky was at that point then, and we were, 10 times worse then as well.
No one was as good as him back then.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. So since Wacky was like up 10 times better than us, it made, he just overshadowed literally everyone on the server.
I'd say
including
the
our teammate.
equivalent of me having Wacky back then would be like me having you and Aramis now in SMP as my teammates.
That's
As my
pretty much.
only teammates. What did you think about the Hypixel Knights and stuff playing on this SMP kind of actively?
So Hypixel Knights for the most part came from. Did any players other than like Egyptian and Vex and Sensul join for this one?
Oh, there's tons. There's Horus, and there was like a lot of the guild. Snadro, those
I
guys.
didn't actually know that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, they had
Uh,
huge mushroom islands themselves. It wasn't. It was a different one
uh-huh.
from your guys'.
I have no idea about that, so you may just want to cut this question, shall we?
This was the first season that we actually allowed, first of 2 that we allowed you guys to, like, take spawners and you could mine spawners. What do you think about that concept?
So it was like, Obviously, season 3 was infinitely worse in this regard in terms of vanilla changes. It was cool when we weren't like super efficient with it, and I still would have preferred without it, but it wasn't terrible. If we weren't going for like a full vanilla like we still are now, then it would have been fine. But like putting it in now, or even with people like Iwaki, they could exploit it to all hell, and that would be way too
Iwaki
overpowered.
had like a huge blaze spawner on our base.
Correct, I remember that. He allowed me to use it, if I remember correctly. Wasn't it public?
Might have been now, I don't remember.
Somehow I got access to it legally.
Our base is really cool though. It was like the closest one to spawn. It was like in a savannah.
But had I have the option now, spawners would be a bad idea. But if it were of like the same level of play, and had I had like if we wouldn't be able to exploit them to the point that we are now, and it was like not Hearth, then I probably would have done them on a separate thing. If it the traditional value of purely vanilla, as well.
Okay. Concluding thoughts on Harth SMP Season 2?
Concluding thoughts. Can we stop this for a sec, actually? Again, it definitely sort of, in addition to this with Season 3, which, if I'm correct, there's, the interlude of GL, or is it after Season 3? Between that? When is GL in the list?
GL is after Lork, which is Lork is after this one.
Okay. So, yeah, with the interlude of Lork and GL, that's when you'll get to hear about that, but this, combined with Season 3, sort of, pushed
they're
me against
basically
modded,
same.
and made me hold the more traditional values for the SMPs. You know, with a few extras, like one-player sleep, which is now in the base game, and so on.
Yeah.
So it made me really realize that it's better with larger base game features, where we do things like the massive farms and shit we do now, and massive villagers, massive villager machines and so on. Like, that's fun. It's not extreme. I like it. It's not overboard. I can respect this in the way that, or this season in the way that it made me realize that, but I can't respect it in the way that it was actually a good season. It was not a good season. Wacky overshadowed everyone to the point of
Not making it fun.
insanity and not making it fun, and I can't blame him. It's our fault, not his.
I remember
Don't blame
legitimately
him.
flexing.
Don't blame the player. Blame the game. Yeah.
I remember legitimately flexing Iwaki you guys, and you guys could do nothing about it. It was so funny for me, obviously.
And
yeah.
Like, the season, how long did it last?
Like
Remind me.
2 weeks. I don't know, 3 weeks. It was really
Shortest
short.
season.
Probably a little longer than Harth S3, I guess. Because
Yeah,
the server
so-
shut down, and I just said, whatever. That's
Yeah.
why we don't even have the world
Like,
save.
even you were bored of it because Wacky overshadowed you. Just
Yeah,
ripping
because
on
he just did everything. I didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
I hate that.
And it really killed it for everyone. And I can't like the season itself, but I can like the impact it brought.
In my opinion, this was the worst Harth
If I
season.
really had to rate the season, I'd actually agree with you. I'd give it an
But it's
F.
close between S3, because S3 also sucked.
S3 sucked.
But at least
so
we had
much.
more base. bases,
Personally, for me, we're cut out now, I presume. But personally, for me, S3 sucked more because of my cheating, which I want to go into on.
Yeah,
the
we'll
S3
go into an S3. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Harth History. Sorry that wasn't such a good one. Next ones will be better, especially the later ones. Like, wait till we get into Sponge SMP and the Burning of Everneth. Oh, fun times. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next one will be about Lork SMP. Watch that. It's on the screen right now. If you're watching this before it aired, then it's not going to be on the screen.